And good morning, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma, and this is what I call my morning musings. We are in the midst of a study of the parables of Jesus, more specifically, the eschatology of the parables of Jesus. In the last segment, I suggested to you that we have to see Jesus' second parable, the parable of the wheat and the tares, the end of the age, in the light of John the Baptizer's ministry as Elijah. Because John, as Elijah, predicted the coming of Christ for the harvest. He said his winnowing fork is already in his hand. Now again, this is so fascinating. Now I've been writing a book for the last couple of years on John as Elijah. There is such incredible significance to realizing that John was Elijah, because John as Elijah was to herald and proclaim the great and the terrible day of the Lord. Well, John as Elijah said this about the great day of the Lord. Behold, that day is coming, burning like an oven. And all the proud, yes, all who do wickedly, will be like stubble. And the day which is coming shall burn them up, says the Lord of hosts, that will leave them neither root nor branch. But to you who fear my name, the Son of Righteousness shall arise with healing in his wings. And you shall go out and grow fat like stall-fed calves. You will trample the wicked. They shall be ashes under the soles of your feet on the day that I do this, says the Lord of hosts. So here is John as Elijah proclaiming the day of the Lord, in which the wicked would be burned up like stubble, like the tares, like the chaff. But John, as Elijah, said that day was at hand. He warned the Pharisees. Who warned you to flee from the wrath that is about to come? And Jesus, in Matthew chapter 13, spoke of the day, the harvest that John as Elijah had spoken of, when the tares would be gathered and burned up. And he said that harvest would be, quote, at the end of this age. That is his age, the age in which he was living. In order for us to take Matthew 13 out of the context of John and his prediction as Elijah of the impending great day of the Lord, then we have to create a doctrine of two harvests, two great days of the Lord, two judgments of the wicked and the tares. But here's what's so critical. John as Elijah was predicting the day of the Lord in which Yahweh was going to judge Israel for violating the law of Moses. This is found in Malachi chapter 3, verses 1 through 6, in which God delineated and defined the sins of which Israel was guilty and for which she would be judged. Those sins are taken directly out of Exodus and Deuteronomy. They are embedded in the law of Moses. And for her violation of the law of Moses, God said, I will come near to you in judgment. So here is John as Elijah, predicting the great day of the Lord when the wicked would be burned up like the chaff. And that day would be the day of judgment against Israel for violating the law of Moses. Here is Jesus predicting the day of the Lord, his coming, at the end of the age in which he was living, in which the tares would be burned up like chaff. Beautiful, perfect harmony. And it points us to the judgment of Israel for violating Torah, for killing Jesus, for killing his apostles and prophets, filling up the measure of their sin. Look, I cover an awful lot of this and more in my series on the parables of Jesus. 32 lessons on the parables of Jesus. And then the 2006 Preterist Pilgrim Weekend on the eschatology of the parables. Go to my website, eschatology.org, BibleProphecy.com. Order one or both, and I will pay your shipping. I'll refund your shipping. You see, when we look at the parables of Jesus, within the world in which Jesus was living, within the prophetic context in which Jesus was operating, it points clearly to the fact that the parables and the eschatology of the parables pointed to his coming in judgment of Israel in AD 70. And we've got a whole lot more. We'll see you on the flip side.